Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. Intense football rivalry has always been a big thing in Jamaica's football. Old-timers in Kingston will tell you about the legendary clashes between Boys Town and Harbour, and at the schoolboy level between Kingston College and St. George's College. In the 1980s going into the 1990s, when Western Jamaica was the capital of Jamaica's football, at the schoolboy level, nothing could beat a clash between Cornwall College and arch-rival Rusea. And at the senior club level, nothing was as epic as a showdown between the city rivals Seba United and Wadadah FC. While the clashes between Cornwall College and Rusea regularly at Hyde Park bursting at the seams, with thousands of fans journeying up from Lucy and other parts of Hanover to watch Rusea, and the entire Montego Bay turning out to support Cornwall College. For me, nothing could beat the Montego Bay derby between Seba United, the pride and joy of North Gully, and Wadadah FC, the gem of Mount Salem. For these games, both Hyde Park and the hillside overlooking the park would be filled and overflowing with enthusiastic supporters. It was usually like music to the ears when Rat Bingham walked into Hyde Park and said, "Wadadah!" and the entire Wadadah stand would respond by saying, "Wadadah!" Of course, Patrick Sebadog Edwards was the perfect foil for Rat Bingham, as when he screamed, "Arriba!" it was as if his voice was hanging over the park as the echo bounced back from the Montego Bay Cricket Club building. Back in those days, Wadadah, which was primarily populated by imported players, was a team tailor-made for excitement, while Seba United, which comprised mostly Montego Bay-based players, was just an awesome outfit who would fight to the end every single time. Seba at the time was dominated by Rastafarian players, with the likes of Alton Noah Sterling, Alan Ply Latty, Lloyd Cheney Green, David Chapop Blackwood, alongside the non-Rastafarians, which included goalkeeper Devon Kid Dunkley, Stephen Zarbol Thompson, Shadrick Wright, Casman Williams, and of course the legendary Paul Teagat Davis. Wadadah was like the galaxy, with an abundance of national stars, which includes the like of goalkeeper Clive Spiderman Wedderburn, Richard Bumpy Enland, Albert Ashley, Andrew Tapazuki Sinclair, Paul Newman, Mick Veldelan, Dean Messi Wilmot, and the sensational Anthony Badas Corbett. Slotting alongside the likes of Neville Weewar Brown, Winston Twinnybug Anglin, Kenneth Blacks Gaynor, Dave Yarny Brooks, Anthony Fallis Williams, Carlton Alexander, Alan Creature Earans, and the little magician Anthony Tuffy Barnes. Wadadah was overflowing with talent. While most of the games churned out non-stop excitement, there were moments that I am sure many fans will never forget. Who could forget the fleet-footed Edwin Alcock dancing through the Wadadah midfield and then sitting on the ball for good measure? Or the diminutive Mick Veldelan giving Chapop a double salad and then being struck a ferocious box which earned Chapop a red card? Of course, there was a game when Brian Ramba Brown Sr. missed a glorious bicycle kick in front of the Wadadah goal, and hours later news broke that he was attacked and chopped by an angry Seba supporter who blamed him for the team's defeat. In addition to the stars on the field, both Wadadah and Seba had supporters who also could be classified as stars because of their commanding presence in the stands. In addition to Seba Dog and his wife Miss Chin, Seba had the likes of Policeman Pablo, Bo Lloyd, Never Dead, and Dalton the Porridge Man. While on Wadadah's side, there was Policeman Duke of Earl, Rat Bingham, Zappa, Bigger, T-Bag, and of course Puff and Jumbi, who were the railroad warriors since no games on the road missed them. With the rival supporters constantly mouthing off each other, In 1988, it was decided that there would be a game between the spectators of both teams to settle all arguments. Legendary sporting personality Steve Buckner donated a trophy for the occasion. As a young sports writer for the Western Mirror at the time, I labelled the game the settlement of all argument and gave it as much publicity as I could. The game attracted one of the biggest crowds that was seen at Gerrard Park in that time. And while it generated more laughter than real football, the fans really had a ball. In the end, the Wadadah team, which was captained by Zappa Robinson, came away with a 2-1 win. In the weeks following the game, some of the Seba supporters, who were usually quite vocal at games, suddenly became quiet because every time they tried to join a conversation, a Wadadah supporter would remind them, "Hey, remember, so we just beat on the other day, boy." However, back in those days, the rivalry was all clean fun, as despite the teasing and taunting, the spectators were good friends outside of the match venue. As I look back at those days of intense rivalry between Wadadah and Seba, my one disappointment is that video cameras were not popular back in those days to capture those happy memories. But for me, those are the unforgettable stories I want to share. Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. Before you go, please remember to subscribe. For the new subscribers who missed my earlier videos, you can find them by typing my name in your YouTube search bar.